Once upon a time, in a charming little village nestled between rolling hills and lush green forests, there lived a young squirrel named Sammy. Sammy was known throughout the village for his mischievous antics and playful nature. He spent his days darting through the trees, chasing after butterflies, and collecting shiny trinkets to add to his collection. One sunny morning, as Sammy was frolicking through the forest, he stumbled upon a glimmering acorn. It was unlike any acorn he had ever seen before. This acorn seemed to radiate a soft, golden light, and there was an air of magic surrounding it. Intrigued, Sammy reached out and carefully picked it up, feeling a tingling sensation shoot through his paws. "This must be the legendary Magic Acorn," Sammy exclaimed, eyes wide with wonder. He had heard tales of the Magic Acorn, said to grant wishes to those who possessed it. Excited beyond measure, Sammy clutched the acorn tightly and raced back to the village to share his discovery. As Sammy bounded into the village square, he found his friends gathered around, chatting and laughing. Without hesitation, he proudly displayed the Magic Acorn for all to see. "Look what I found!" Sammy exclaimed, his voice filled with excitement. "It's the Magic Acorn, and it's going to grant me any wish I desire." His friends gasped in awe and envy as they crowded around to get a closer look. They whispered amongst themselves, marveling at the sight of the mystical acorn. "That's incredible, Sammy," cheered Rosie the rabbit, her ears twitching with excitement. "What are you going to wish for?" Sammy pondered for a moment, his mind racing with endless possibilities. He could wish for piles of delicious nuts, or perhaps a grand treehouse high above the treetops. But as he glanced around at his friends, a mischievous idea took hold. "I know exactly what I want to wish for," Sammy declared with a sly grin. "I wish to be the cleverest, fastest, and most talented squirrel in the whole forest." With that, he closed his eyes tightly and whispered his wish to the Magic Acorn. There was a faint shimmer in the air, and a soft hum filled the village square. When Sammy opened his eyes, he felt a surge of energy coursing through his body. "I did it! I made my wish!" Sammy exclaimed, leaping into the air with joy. "Now watch as I show off my incredible skills." With newfound confidence, Sammy began to perform all sorts of impressive tricks. He darted through the trees with lightning speed, leaping from branch to branch with grace and agility. His friends watched in awe as he juggled acorns with ease and performed daring flips and somersaults. For a while, everything seemed perfect. Sammy basked in the admiration of his friends, reveling in his newfound talents. But as the days went by, he began to notice a change in their behavior. They no longer laughed and played with him as they once did. Instead, they watched him with envy and resentment, their eyes filled with jealousy. Sammy couldn't understand why his friends were acting this way. Didn't they see how amazing he was? Didn't they appreciate all the incredible things he could do? One day, as Sammy was showing off his skills in the village square, he overheard a group of his friends whispering nearby. "I miss the old Sammy," murmured Rosie, her voice tinged with sadness. "He used to be so much fun to be around. Now he's just showing off all the time." "Yeah, I wish he would stop trying to impress us and just be himself," agreed Benny the Badger, nodding solemnly. "I miss the days when we could all play together without feeling like we're not good enough." Sammy felt a pang of guilt wash over him as he listened to his friends' words. He realized that in his quest to become the greatest squirrel in the forest, he had lost sight of what truly mattered. He had let his pride and vanity cloud his judgment, and in doing so, he had pushed away the very friends who had always stood by his side. With a heavy heart, Sammy made a difficult decision. He knew what he had to do to make things right. That evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Sammy sought out the Magic Acorn once more. He held it gently in his paws, feeling its warmth against his fur as he whispered his wish into the night. I wish to undo my previous wish, Sammy said softly, his voice tinged with regret. I wish to be the same old Sammy, just as I was before. As the words left his lips, there was a gentle rustling in the leaves above, and a soft glow enveloped the magic acorn. Sammy closed his eyes and waited, his heart pounding with anticipation. When he opened his eyes once more, he felt a weight lift from his shoulders. He looked down at the acorn in his paws and smiled, feeling a sense of peace wash over him. The next morning, Sammy awoke to find his friends gathered outside his treehouse, their faces filled with concern. We heard what you did, Sammy, Rosie said, her voice soft with emotion. We're so sorry for the way we treated you. We missed our old friend, and we're glad to have you back. Sammy felt tears prick at the corners of his eyes as he hugged each of his friends tightly. I'm sorry too, he whispered, his voice choked with emotion. I let my pride get the best of me, but I realize now that true greatness comes from being honest, humble, and kind. From that day forward, Sammy vowed to always cherish the bonds of friendship that he shared with his friends. And though he may not have been the cleverest or fastest squirrel in the forest, he knew that he was loved for who he was, flaws and all. And as for the magic acorn, it remained a cherished treasure, a reminder of the importance of honesty and humility in a world filled with magic and wonder.